off the shit, yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm ripping. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon.
All right, Shalom Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. I'm the Commandant General Yana. Started out in 1969, teaching the truth about the Bible and the so-called Black Hispanic. Right? That the Black Hispanic and Native Indian. Right? That the Black Hispanic and Native Indian are the truth, because Jews are the Bible. Right? This is your lineage inside here. This is your record. All right? And today's the Brotherhood class. Teaching up a class, we're down class change here. Right? And today we're going to touch the basic topic is this, right? White lies. The oppressors set up traps and not a society. But for some reason we think that that everything we see here is something that's supposed to be fully functional and real, and like the laws and them is really the laws, and we're trying to convince yourself for something different. When all the evidence, all the data says that this is a proper society. This is not the way to put this is the way, but you're fighting your own common sense, the little brain that God gave you, and you refuse to use it, right? And it's because the influence of your oppressor through your religious leaders, through your pastors, through your imams, through your politicians, all of them. Because those are the people that you depend on for information, for eating, for security, and all of that. So, you understand? They make it so easy for you to sell yourself short and to sell yourself halal and to buy into all the garbage that out here. Right? So, now they make it very simple. Yeah? Yeah, you. I was I got done. Right? So, we want to definitely get into it, right? So, the first scripture we want to get to, observe my talk about Shasta. Remember Job chapter 9 and verse 24. Right? And this is what we have to really actually realize that God says. They have a God, you know what I mean? For sure. They have a God, but here we telling you with regards to this society today. Understand what really taking place out here. Yes? Baba Kasha. They should done. Everything right? I'm just, you also want anything like that, good? I don't judge, right? Feel free to ask any questions that they have and that kind of thing, but we operate the class with that order and thing, right? See, after that, they can ask any question about anything inside of it. But when you get the class time, they sit down and we just ready getting it because we want to educate one another. That is the mission. We want you to come out here and start putting your merchant, put your uncle, your father. You understand? Give them the real goal because we have to come out of this. Right? On what system? Oh, you play places. The place hard, it's nice. It seems like a paradise. It's sweet. Like sugar in the teeth. I mean, yeah, you know, the place it's hard, it's normal, it's cool. I had to carry you with go away. You definitely had to carry you. Right? But which answer? You give up to this stuff.
Job, chapter 9 and verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces thereof. So that he covered the faces of the judges thereof.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, right? Now, a lot of people, regardless of where they are, sometimes in Brazil, sometimes in Trinidad, sometimes in Guyana, sometimes wherever it is, right? We don't see the bigger picture that this is the case. It's only because the world now seeing the Epstein files and things like that, certain mark as we say it busted. Now we get to really understand what really taking place behind Disney World ads and Six World and Six Flags and Benihanas and you know what I mean? All the life and the yachts and the planes and private planes and all the models, you know what I mean? Models and the champagne and all of that, the rapper lifestyle, the laptop lifestyle. Yeah, the American dream, behind the picket fence. You know what I mean? You're walking the dog on a leash, going on the beach. And a cool Tuesday evening, the person saying here that I'm telling you to get slice just now. As Commander Engineer, I was talking about yesterday in the radio show. Right? And General Maimon say what happened? So the white man, he don't want to get mixed too, he don't want to really truly benefit from the things that you can really organize. So you're telling me that this man had a promise you live, right? So you are. So in Trinidad and other places too, we don't know the code already, right? Thanks for the internet and people who travel back and forth and all that, they will tell you to go. Which is in every land on the planet, because the earth given to the hands of the wicked, this all politicians must be on the same page. Lies, the cheap rub. That is the mode of operation. You know what I mean? To figure out now. The thing is, what we have to come back and do now is really actually see, wait now, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. When I watch everybody else, regardless of, we know politician line, but how come I'm not seeing Chinese people going through that kind of struggle? I'm not seeing them by no place begging for jobs and, you know, all of this thing. They're coming from wherever they're coming from, set up a Chinese store in about 60 days stops. They got to go. You see them playing out and nobody cases they ain't, you know, Louis Vuittons and whatever they ain't doing that to them. But they go to go, you not see them begging for no work. Syrian begging for no work. East Indian and Indian begging for no work, G. How come Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians where you come from? Look at that. Look how big Venezuela is. But sold up Trinidad out of 2,000 times. And you telling me a big, you know, oil-rich country, real gold, everything like that. You coming from there to come and try to beg a lodging on the side, and plus people could do what they want. Yesterday, in Rio Claro, somebody, the whole, a 30-year-old mother with a 50-year-old daughter. You tell me at 15 years old, if all of that, that's going to be the norm now. That is when the word given to the hands of the wicked. Whole, Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2 from about the chest. Right? That's not really norm. 30-year-olds and not a 15-year-old child. 14-year-old mother. And that is what chop up now because I don't know what the father for that child is. It could be a child out of abuse. Essay. You telling me this place? Now, like, wherever all it going, and place all this visit and think nice, so they have to carry me there. Because everyone look is hard. I don't know. You really have to show me that place, guys. But we can just go here.
So Proverbs 29 and 22.
And 2.
Salakia. The book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear it rule, the people mourn.
So when they are people rejoice. So-called person, white man, they don't feel that I'm sure. They see people, but these people are not in the sun of nature, still. Kensington, still. Them places in San Francisco, the Bay Area, all them places them full of addicts, full of narcotics. Trinidad here, one of the things that we do observe, and we think, you know what I mean, that thing real nice, it's carnival. Drugs, the drug you out of your mind. Something covered in the body and you thinking you have one of those men walking around, you understand, like real alphabetic men, LBGTQ, XYZ, NFLP. And you thinking you have one of those, brother? You think that is something to do? Looking like a follow, you can't tell the difference between a straight man and a compromised man. That's the difference. Drugs, narcotics, and it's not out there, man. She is a mad thing for that. Imagine that you thinking by that life, but you thinking like that out the party. So where are we close by? If you get your chance, understand, you will not take it. You like you vex for wear clothes. You jealous, we call it dog on the road. That is how you person how we thinking. Like liberty and how to do this. The apartment now, what we the influencers and them and all these singers and the Shan and people like that. Now you black man over the cases now all them sisters and right. All them brothers Marshall and them over the cases. A lot of men will be, you know me, on the road, a lot of people they begin so. That's how the black man come from gospel and all kind of thing. It's an exciting that because of that, certain people in the sun can come Australia, get a nice song, sisters be singing and all that night. Like that some real nice songs too. Just show them some real nice songs for Chisha, but it's McGill. Real nice songs. Nothing vulgar, nothing out of time. And real nice, groovy. What? Think to hug up and speak to a woman, brother. Think for girl to hug up and feel like the man in the sun and wave like an outfit. What's his niceness? You telling me so white as all of that I hear, all this I can appreciate. You telling me I have to sell it to this image line? You know that making room for? When somebody can't tell you what to do because you're looking for that level, you feel this person going through that just so. You feel you get that plug and that play to not, you know what I mean, for something that much more dangerous. Some people in the Bible telling me because the pastor, the imam tell them, the politician tell them, do not follow what God says. And then now you understand we can take that cotton pipe, but don't understand like that poison pipe. But then okay, but that's what you person live. Your person living in, I don't concern by that poison. If I get dead, if I can have picture for 5 minutes, you don't understand the reason for life. You don't understand the reason for things. You don't reason. He just move by what you feel. Like breeze. You go in and do the math on tonight. You do all calculation based on this. Bam, 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 bam. All right. I need to make sure that things for healthcare and all that. I can't have government contracts on Sam.gov, right? And then people to pay $100 per a hammer. A hammer be $5 US some you know. A hammer down here about $50. Imagine I want to pay about $1,000 per hammer. Come on, you have a government contract now. And then they don't know that money has how much ways. Everything is bubble and people have to suffer. When just do the work. Just do the work and formulate ways so people to get more things do. That garbage, you know, that working, that grass stuff, all kind of different things, people do not good job. European members do not good job, there's plenty more to do, there's plenty unused buildings and all that. There's all around the place, all around the world. Once the unused buildings and downtown buildings and all of that, all this commission in the city now thinking about using it for making homes and they know how to tighten up because they can't pull out as much as possible. Now they have to cover up. You understand the things that the judges, they don't want black, Hispanic, and Native Indians like myself and other brothers and sisters coming and telling them, hey, you see the way that them doing things? Or there's not to touch children. Children is not to have, you understand, intercourse. But in the height of them time, in the Roman listen, you against Greek and Roman, they call it something. Pederasty was the biggest thing. Right? And here it is, she got into there. You pull it up real quick. Pederasty. Right? same time, right? So within the Greek and the modern Latin time, right? For whatever they call it, right? But let me get the early 17th century from modern Latin, pederastia, from Greek, paeso, paid boy. Yeah? Erastes, the lover. That is the Greek word or dedication for lover. But that was the height of the thing. Right? What is the Greek tradition of pederasty? Let me get that. Pederasty in ancient Greece was a socially acknowledged romantic relationship between an adult male, the Erastes, and a younger male, the Eromenos, usually in his teens. But they're going for way less, for way younger. 12-year-olds and all that, all 65, that is what they prefer. But we know, because we're in slavery and a lot of other nationalities or races get the benefit and they the same thing too. We always used to watch coming up as young men and whatever the cases, we always know that the Japanese have a kind of fetish for children. You always want the woman in them in tight skirt and wearing like in even the uniform for them off some little mini skirt thing and children. You want to know what is this man also? We didn't know that this man also was just like the man who running the planet, who earth given into the hands of the wicked. So now everybody that joined with him, as Sam in saying, this is the exact same way that is lived. They prefer that. They prefer wickedness. And you thinking that, you know what I mean, just some people have a deceived mind. You under the illusion that this place you're under some type of government law and morality and all of these different things, and you're looking up to them as some type of leaders, something to follow on this. Understanding that is what you call a cabal. It's just a mix of men and women that decide they follow to do evil as much as possible. The pressure on them, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians doesn't want to sell narcotics and sell the bodies and all these different things, but they let you know that is the only way we just operate. Once we run into planet, meaning the so-called white man, the oppressor, once we run the planet, that is exactly what he wants. It is a normal thing for grandmothers and grandfathers and all that to touch the children and all that in the they call it romantically, to touch and kiss on the lips and that kind of things. In the Jewish community, the rabbis today, that is the so-called Jew, the white Jew, which is a lie, which is not the truth, but we are the Jews. According to the Bible, the Jews are black, Jeremiah 14:2, right? These men and them, when a child is born and a young baby at the 8th day, according to the Bible, according to law, right? It's supposed to get a circumcision, meaning a cutting off of the foreskin. How they just clean that blood by putting the mouth on it? You want to know how come they do it, and now in all the Epstein files and all of these different things, and then you find there's some kind of different kind of ritualistic thing. They always fighting for the stem cells are babies and aborted babies and all these different things and terminated babies. They always fighting for these things and to try and extend their life. For as much wickedness and as much pleasure as they want to do again, these men and them, he's gonna eat something here, old men. I said the generation we see what for them again. So the predators basically, right? Fighting to live longer they could, right? And ingesting and extracting the blood. Always right. Let's raise the hand and let's raise the hand for yeah, no problem. Right? Yes, so you always find them on this kind of thing. You always find them wanting to do these disgusting things like that. And you want to know why? How come that day? And nobody could fight against it. The thing is, they don't care. Really, actually, the oppressor will do everything that he could get away with. Every living thing. That's why certain things they don't want exposed. They don't want the networks and how they do this and how they establish this and who it is really actually who holding different cards, who live for different bank account things and shell companies and all that. They don't want that exposed. Yeah, and that is exactly what's going on with the oppressor. You don't want it to understand them things and them, right? So that's why he will go on the shock you with this and this war and this lie here and all of that, because he wants to cover up the wickedness that he doing. Certain things he know go affect the way they just do things. Look how long they're running, what 30 years or some kind of thing like that, and that is what you know of. Because it's all kind of how much presidents and them they doing that. all this Skull and Bone Society and Freemasonry and all of them doing that thing long time. Long time in a thing. The earth given into the hands of the wicked, but somehow you're telling yourself something different. The Bible is, which is the true record on the book, on the world, sorry, on the planet. Telling you the earth given into the hands of the wicked. The reason why you don't believe it is because of your leaders and them. They're telling you God laws done away, the thing that designed to protect you and protect people from doing them things and them. You follow? So when you know, okay, if I've seen them doing one thing and they're trying to hide it and know well, they have these things that them follow because the Bible says what this is, every evil work does exist. Where strife and all these contentions and all that come out. Right? And that's man who cast in his own land and all that. It have other things there. What is the reason you're doing that? You don't understand how to do your maths. You don't understand what to look for. That is the reason the Isupk, understand, come on the scene through the grace and mercy of the Most High to help the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man understand what's going on. Because through slavery, they ensure that they cut you out from that. From understanding these things so that they can run amok, as we say, or play the fool and run all the corruption and all the wickedness that they want to do on the hand. Because you can't see it, you don't know that you're propping it. And now here's what they're doing. Ensure you follow that they put everything together to where you is either you do this or you're not getting nothing. So now you don't have nothing already. So what you're going to do, you're going to fight one another. Wherever it is a race to the bottom. Then a race to the top, on the top. You're not touching with them presidents and Bilderbergs and all them people and Vandervoort and Vanguard and BlackRock and all that. You're not touching it. That ain't for you. Right? You see how they operate, Armenians and the Arabs and all of that? Just years ago, whatever they could do to ensure that they could get a dominance or hold over it, that is exactly what's going on. The Lord see already, you're going, when my people drop the ball, the wicked enemy is going authority and the people will mourn. So they're ensuring that, hey, they're going to do all they can do and they know they have a very short time of doing this, right? Baba Kisha, right? And that is one of the key components you have to understand why this man will continue to operate so. First, yeah, let me go to Revelation 12, verse 9, and then we'll jump back to Genesis 3 and 1. You'll get a better idea of what really is the goal. Why is he doing all this? And you find they ain't touching nothing with the Epstein files and wars going on all here and all these different things and because what really taking place, you can't track nothing. Nobody going to really touch the real problem. They 12 and 9. Right. Yeah, Baba Gasha.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan.
I pause right there. So we're going to touch on who's that old devil, that old dragon, right? The great dragon that was cast out, the old serpent, called the devil and Satan. We're going to bring it from what context or what historical part they was talking about. So we will connect the dots basically, right? We don't, Baba Kisha?
Which deceiveth the whole world.
So which deceiveth the whole world. I know no sukunya flying away, no they call it no imaginary beast no way. There are no so-called in a sense spiritual demon going all over the place and deceiving the whole world. Nobody doing that. They didn't identify he yet or she yet. They're gonna show you what the real vibe is. And what that man do, you follow and cause people to do this. So all that garbage that they're telling you, all the lies that they're trying to deflect and make it seem like it's some kind of hulu-bulu going on, we will get to the real meat of the matter. We will put some sense into this thing. We don't, Baba Kisha?
He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
And he was cast out into the earth. That is a main component because you're programmed to hear what not inside the Bible. Because for the number of years, that is a serious, what you call witchcraft. That is a serious play. It's easy because you're training not to listen. You just feeling when somebody is intoxicated, right, and out of their mind, they cannot connect reality with what really taking place. They're disconnected from reality itself. So now You're seeing things that are not there. You're hearing things that are not there. That is not the actual issue. That's not there. And this has been done for a number of years. I have seen this thing. All of us that came out of the Christian church and all these different things, that is the whole that on the world. When the world given to the hands of the wicked, you would promise to yourself, you would cut off your own, put your head on a platter and say, you put it in your head on a neck, you put it in your neck, sorry, on wherever, and you chop and block and say, yeah, I sure that it. When you look at it now, the pastor saying that, the imam saying that, boy, them things that you telling yourself now, what them fellas talk, but you mad or that day, boy, I hear it since I small, 40 years now, I hear that 50 years now, 60 years. People going down to the grave and not getting to understand what them saying is not true. I'm not real. That ain't no joke. That is a serious thing. And then some people, just like these fellow leaders and them, they hear it and they're deciding, yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Once I can eat, you care. You care who get molested. I don't care who get, understand, unalived. I don't care who get, they call it squeezed. I don't care nothing. They say, all right, take that with us. Yeah, you use the boss now. The white man use the boss. Yes, the boss. It's the master. And they're rocking at it. That is the hard thing. So-called Black, Hispanic, Native, Indian man, woman, and child. It have no ease up, no relief, no paradise, no fairness, no justice until we understand that what this oppressor is saying is not the truth. Until we fall away from that, they will leave that out. Then we decide, yeah, boy, all right, that really actually is not the truth. And this man, we have a short time. Give me the Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1, Bible question.
The book of Genesis.
Go ahead.
Chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Right, so the old serpent that we just now read in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9, the man that was cast out in the earth. We're not seeing no man walking like no ghost or no Casper, walking around no place and deceiving nobody. That man, that old serpent talking about this man. Read it again from the top, sir. Babu Kusha.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
The serpent, that man was more subtle, more deceiving, more cunning than any beast of the field. We don't, Babu Kusha?
Which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, had God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Right, so this man went and talked to a woman, a human being, one human to another human. It's like with this polar man, a dog, and that woman is a female dog, and that woman is a dragon, and he's a poloiki, right? Well, the poloiki just mean, understand, that the waste man basically are deceived by the same way, right? So the same thing that this man, right, that Revelation 9 talking about, that great dragon, that is that man today. That deceiving the whole world. That's the same way he deceived before mother, the black foremother Eve in the garden. That same man, he further deceived the whole world. So stop telling yourself a lie. What you're seeing here, it is not the truth. It is a deception. It is a decoy. On the planet, all these things that they're telling you is all lies. All. So if that is the lie, then where's the truth? If the man is running the planet, what you want to find is who it is not siding with this man. Who it is not agreeing to what it is they're saying. They look for that. Because God himself telling you this man that run the planet, everybody that agree with he, that on that page, yeah, like that, like poison. Read the Revelation 12 and 9, Baba Kisha again.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan.
Right, pause right there, Baba Kusha. You jump into verse 12, right? But so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, woman and child, understand something, right? That great dragon, the old serpent, that man that was cast into the earth, he deceived the entire world. Understand something? So this is no something to play with and something to feel. You know what I mean? All the time in the world to figure it out and do that. That war that we seen going on, because we tell ourselves for some time that yeah, it go just boil on, or we go, you know, thing go cool on, we go get a little slice of the heaven and all of that. Look what's going on with Cuba today. Cuba is without electricity out. That's how that man is operating. You don't care who in hospital bed. You don't care what baby had to live and need electricity. You don't care about that. You know? So if you want to use the thing that God put between your ears, the Isupk and the Commander General and the place that you would see is not agreeing with this man. Not agreeing to them things that the oppressor doing. We're not in a league. We're not in league with him. That's why the disclaimer we just say here, we're not affiliated with nobody. Because we're not on that. Them who are affiliated with them don't care what take place, who it affect, nothing like that. Them don't use their brain. They don't evaluate things. They don't love nobody. They don't understand what love is. Love is not a feeling. Love is what you just do one to another. Love is, as they say, love is a verb, it's an action, it's not a feeling. Verb and a feeling can never be the same thing. A verb, look it up, look up what a verb is. It's an action, it's what you just do. All right? Revelation 12 and 12, back with Shasa.
Book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth. Right, so woe is destruction. Woe is the inhabitants of the earth. Right, understand some? We don't Babakisha? And of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. The same man we talking about, the man who was cast into the earth and deceiving the whole world. This man come down with great wrath. Understand some destruction unto you. We don't Babakisha? Because he knoweth that he had but a short time. Right, so you understand why this man pushing to do all this. You want to know, you have all the billions in the world. He's the richest country in the planet. Why did you must interfere with people? Why does you want Greenland? Why does you want all in different places? And what is the problem? You don't have enough. You're in charge and you have all the power. What is your problem? You know that you have a short time because God now, who they taught, you understand, it had none. And taught, you understand, that you could buy him a closet full of pajamas. Like a game of night pool. They do have that. You know you have a very short time. So picture a man that have all the power in the world, doing all this underhand thing for 40 years. And then now started to come out in the open. People now get there and understand what really taking place. This man have a short time. Who could cut over a whole entire nation with how much million people lives? How much people in Cuba? You see how this man is. He don't concern about nothing. No. Listen to this. Cuba population, right? Let me look it up real fast. Cuba population. A small thing for you. Collateral damage. Cuba's population is experiencing a significant decline due to mass immigration and low birth rates, with estimates from 2024 ranging from approximately 9.7 to 11 million people. Yeah? You don't care about what 11 million people face. How much people can hop on a plane and fly out of it? The place done already impoverished, meaning that, understand, it's a real poor. They might hit you almost on the same level to give you some context. This man does not care about that. Don't care about life. The thing is, the Lord looking for people who care about that. You know? If you don't care about that, ain't no problem. You and God, you go talk to Him when that time comes. The Lord is looking for people that is why we have people here still. People are taking the time to make videos and all kind of garbage. All these different things. And then Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we ain't supposed to be here. That is the thing. We're not even supposed to be in this place to now reiterate this thing for hundreds of years. That hey, we're supposed to do these things and then might to protect our own self. To not be under this man, whatever mercy we think that he have, and under his oppression and what he feel like, he just do what he feel like in the morning. Donald Trump just wake up and do what he feel like, you know.
And the man have all rights to do so. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. It's not the right thing, but that man is the way he feel. If you rather that, well, okay, then you don't go out in the sun. You can tell God, you want to take out my brain, just let me walk. Let me walk in that car, walk in the whatever. But I don't care about that. So we don't have that in the sense that luxury of time and all of that, the man coming out with great wrath. So it is about time to understand what we must do, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native, Indian man, woman, and child. It's about time that we start to inquire where is the home of the truth. Because if the world is deception and lies, then it must have a place that is told the truth. It must have a place on the planet that is do that. God say, look at where it is. If you're in Austria, if you're in Kazakhstan, if you stick up somewhere, so-called black man, meaning your father is a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man. That is what is determined. You don't care if your father went across Vietnam and stayed, end up, you understand, under the influence of all the media. You don't care about that. You have a way to operate, because you're going on. If these other places, Singapore and all these different places, and Malaysia and all of that, look at what Filipinos is work for. If they could do so much with less, what is the problem with the oppressor? How does this man cannot careful? As General Maya kind of saying yesterday too. Obadiah, Puli Obadiah Babagashadi, same thing we're talking about. I think it was 9 somebody with the grape gatherers and it. Yeah, this man, you know what I mean? He don't satisfy. You know that is, like somebody who eating and careful. I don't think we really could grasp how dangerous it is being under this oppressive. That is what it is. We don't really see it for what it really is. That is due to, you understand, the pimp houses on them and the drug dens fall, the religious institutions, and the politics and political parties and all that. That is why we can't see it for what it really is. And these people out the mind, out of the rabbit and ASS mind. Because ain't no way, G. Ain't no way. You see that this is some way to survive. There's something to survive. Surviving Jeffrey Epstein. Surviving Donald Trump. Surviving Diddy Combs. These fellas, they just break them, Combs, and when you look at them fellas' early lifestyle, what you choose to do coming up in there is that's exactly where you're going to be. If that's what you're choosing all the time, you follow your years of weakness. It's really easy to just stay on that path. Easy. It's harder to break a man while you follow. That is why prophets of God, they kill them. They kill us. Because we're not going down with that. We understand, hey, there's no time. One lifetime, well, a couple hours, a couple days, a torture for the cases. We know by as much as we hated Christ himself, say, by this cup, if this cup could pass me, meaning if I do have to go through this BS, take it from my Baba Gosha father. But nevertheless, your will be done. You don't know, hey. I could never give up my seat. I could never give up a chance to be a door, what do you call it? A mop, a janitor in the kingdom of heaven. Meaning when God set up the place and we walking on gold, I get to shine the ground in the sun with a mop that on gold. I ain't fighting nobody for no piece of gold. And gold in the mountain, snatching no chain, and that my madness. You can picture a world like that. That gold ain't nothing. You just walk on that. Today people want to plug people for $100 and $50. A man get a life snatch. A girl selling for that kind of price. But la wine as Joel Tree. You can picture a world like that? That is to tell you how dread it is under the suppression, how he have people shaking in their boots. That is the kind of life. Now you can die. you can literally die. Nobody have to do nothing. Just under that fear alone. If your heart ain't good, you can die. You hear something, somebody, call it somebody, or some cat or something in your yard, and some fall along, keep you dead, somebody coming for you, and you catch a heart attack, then drop down dead. Under the society, the world saying, the Bible saying, hey, the trees are not going to rejoice by. The trees going to say, why we get that time to breathe by, brother. Animals and them living free. Like my brethren, I go on, I pass my brethren, I go on, I run in front by because we don't eat that. I go on, I understand, get shut up, wake up in the morning, and say, oh gosh, nice boy. You know, all that thing there. That is the kind of world you're supposed to be living in, dying on food. You don't go on unless they're eating all kind of garbage. When you're nice, when I say bake what do you call it? A half a rib a lamb, a half a rack of rib a lamb. When I say do that, and taste you buy regular lamb without thing. That's not the Passover coming in. April the 1st to the 4th. It start kicking off from there. Up on the 4th G, a half a rack of rib a lamb G. When I see do Sundays, bake some lamb. Lamb is not such a thing, but what's saying that you running down shellfish and thing that could give mercury in your blood and all kind and raise your blood pressure and kill you then. Yeah, nice meat like lamb and nice beef and steak and all kind of different things, you know, which you know monster money neither. But how you feeling that that's some kind of luxury thing. You paying about 5 times to 10 times the thing to kill you faster, which is them lobster and all them things. I don't know the price that is. You know what crab and them, you know the price of them thing. Yeah, sure, you know, so you're paying all kind of different thing and no birds. When you could do so, you can raise your own cow and after time and them same T-bone steak and all kind of different thing, they want to charge you all kind of 5,000, 400, whatever. You can make that yourself. You can cut up your own thing. Carry back butcher and cut it up and with the sauce. You have some steak. Nobody's selling you no place and you believe in that this man here who probably does launder money and in all kind of different shippiness. And keep you there, you understand? You pay for the experience. And you feel like something because this man and crush your spirit inside of here. Yeah, you feel like that is something. You rock back and have a barbecue with your family. Eat some papa. A little veggies, you understand? A soup. Thing like all the way. You feel in some type of way, man, Dan. It's so dread. It's such a shame. Under the suppressant, that way we had to understand super black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, woman, and child. This man deceived the whole entire world. Not only buying the wrong thing to eat, you follow? You're looking at all the things in them that you don't even understand, really and truly contributing to your demise. Like how politics is really do that, right? Let me take, for instance, this. There's something called moral law according to the Bible and something called water law according to business and nobody cases, right? When you look at what it is they could get away with, again, the oppressor is going to put everything in place that he could get away with. That is the main prerogative. He's going to use every last thing he could squeeze out. If this man, right, could go ahead and have seen party and all of that and presidents and could do all of that. But they don't have it in the United States itself, but they go on offshore to do something. I'm telling you, hey, at least they know if they get catch in certain things, they know they can get away with it and all too. But your mind is diabolical, so you're not thinking on that level. You don't understand how your enemy does operate. But because we're forced to understand what's taking place on the earth, at least I want to know. We don't want to know exactly what they're doing and what the ritual for and all of that. We want to understand how these men is trapped here. Because understand something that they have control of the whole way. What you want to know is how for them not to trap you. And how it is do that is together with your people and them. When you're doing this, when you're not a part of the world, you're not a friend of the world, you wouldn't be God enemy. And as long as they could continue to do their thing for how long, right? The faster you get to not be God enemy, is the faster he could defend. Is the faster he could now decide, all right. Now they decide, the righteous decide that they want the possession, they want the responsibility of the world. You don't want it. Think about it. If nobody want to hold, you understand, the responsibility for doing what is the right thing to do, then God say, all right, it's up for grabs then. I don't know this man here that coming on to he don't want no birthright and all that. He not operating on that what you call it? That a moral way and an honest way of living. You don't care about that. How it's easy to sell and then say, but hey, That man, that nastiness by our bossy throat. When I said give it up, nobody didn't put no spear to his head and to his side and say, give me that. He gave it up, he traded it. You tell me he had nothing else to eat. But now you don't believe you follow that, hey, he's an entitled person, you don't believe that have consequences to action. You don't operate on that level again, you don't think. You don't use that for that. He just entitled and believe because you're going, I want this, I should have. Now work for it. No. We don't work for them. Everything is swindle. Babu Kashasa, if you could find me the part where he saw Paul in the belly. The support falling stuff.
Okay. The wedding next one over there?
Yeah, the over there first, and then let me see if I can find it in the meantime, Babu Kashasa.
Where do you want it over there?
Babu Kashasa, yeah.
The book of Obadiah.
Chapter 1 and verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, they would not leave some grapes. Sadakia, would they not leave some grapes?
That's it?
Go on to verse 6.
No, I think that is Babu Kashasa. That's to draw the point. Basically, this. You, right, maybe that spirit not on you, right? So for Black, Hispanic, Native, Indian man, woman, and child, maybe that's not the case, right? But imagine eating and not feeling full. Imagine that. They're drinking some water and it's like you don't have any place to put it. Like it's flowing through it. It's come like you just see it and you can just gobble up until you don't care if it bursts. You don't feel that. If there's somebody you cannot make all this thing, you cannot satisfy, right? They can never get enough. What it is you feel, you could appease this man. What you feel, you could tap dance and side with him, and you feel you can satisfy he rat and he lost. Why would you try to do that if that is how the man is operate? That is how the woman is operate. And understand that the earth given into the hands of the wicked. Covering the judges them, all they hush them out, don't say nothing. All they don't talk, we don't hear all that. We want wickedness, we want evil to run the place. And that can't done, we can't satisfy. That is what the oppressor, that is what Donald Trump and all these men and them on. They're on that. The Lord say, who I make crooked, who gonna make straight? Who could change that? So-called Black, Hispanic, Native, Indian man, woman, and child, you need to use your brain if you want to. You need to understand energy. This year is not living. This year is not life. This year is snares and traps. This is not a society. Because in the Philippines and in Malaysia and all the places and where the whalers, they're surviving. They're making things, they're making use of things. The hospital and them up and running and all that. So this man telling me that the hospital shortage and all that is a lie. Absolute lies. And here's what you know too. When the Haitians and them was coming to America around the same time, it had people from Afghanistan. How much of them and people from Ukraine? That is the one I'm talking about, especially Ukraine. People came from Ukraine the same, I think a week or a month or something like that apart. They told Haitians and certain people that they didn't have money. They didn't have nothing to get them. They don't have enough in the treasury. They're not enough for them. As soon as the Ukrainians needed it, they came across here and they get nice. The people from Somalia, we is not Africans. That is the next lie that is like the purport. It's like the push. People from Somalia came across, you understand, to Washington, D.C. and all that, and started they get so nice till when they and all, because all of them in the mix together, so all of them are thief. Thief from thief, as we just say down here, let's make God laugh. They're the same boat. That is how they just operate. So what they can expect none different. In other words, the only thing the oppressor saying, the so-called white man saying, is how dare you even try that garbage with me? You're going out your mind now. You don't know who's the biggest thief. You can't come around with crime. Don't try that, boy. And they'll make an example out there. That's why they do certain things. Don't thief more. Don't feel like a thief more than we. I always say, you know. So understand, you don't have nothing to get. You don't have nothing to try and get a little slice no pie, G. You need to use everything in your reach, in your grasp. Learn what you have to learn to try and help yourself and your people come out of this because we're coming out together. We need a certain amount of numbers. You know everybody. Let's say you reserve 7,000 men. That wouldn't bow the knee. You see, looking at 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe. It might be done have men who done seal, women who done seal in the ground already, but especially men that will formulate the government the Lord want. You follow that wouldn't side with those oppressor, would stand up against it, and that is exactly he could do it if he need to do on the whole planet through them men and the king. Yahweh Shai, Jesus Christ as the world knows. Yeah, enough. That's what you're looking for. Enough men to say I go along that responsibility. I wait this. Me, understand? Whoever it is, if the whole responsibility is sweep, whoever the case is, we taking that. I the responsibility, we want that. Give it. That's what the Lord saying. Understand that so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, woman and child. Whatever you want, and it's whatever it is, we need to get two people them together to get out of here. That is what it is, because we done seen that here ain't no living G. Ain't no place to play no Russian roulette and take no gamble with. Not that kind of party. No brother. No sister. No youth. No star. Right? We all in for myself. Salakia.
Salakia said the Genesis 3 and 14.
Baba Gosha, yeah, we touched that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 14. And the Lord God said unto the serpent,
the same serpent he say in Genesis 3 and 1. Same serpent he say in Revelation 12 and 9. You say it, read on, Baba Gosha, sir?
Can, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field.
Right, so because you come and interrupt my plan, I don't have them, you already plan how I want to turn. And because you decide that you want to chuck this in, although they're wrong, that is why we get the punishment now. But he done curse the so-called white man, the serpent, that old man that was cast into the earth, not under no sky and under no ground and under that shepherdess on the earth, where everybody, all are we dwelling now on the earth. That same man, he cast him and say, I curse in here. It means this is your punishment here. This is your judgment. I said this is how you going to operate from now on. This is how you want to live. You want to interrupt my plan, I'll show you something here. You will say, well, boy, this pain too strong, boy. And that is why he coming at we with great wrath. The same people and he wanted, the same people that God, the Most High power did that already, had the planet running a certain way, he decided he wanted to interfere with that. And now, that is how abuse is this. You don't put things in, you interrupt it. Nobody put no gun to your head. Nobody tell the serpent to operate so. He decided he wanted to do this. Now look at what's going on now. Because then he can't come. He coming out and he vexed you. Coming out with great wrath. He want to bite off your neck. He want to thing. He want to stab you. He want to whip you, all kind of different things. This is not a human being. A human is operate so? No, G. A human have a certain capacity operated. An animal, a beast is operate so. A beast cutting your neck. A beast no concern. A beast no care about the chain. Well, some beasts at least let's do that. So this oppressor worse, the so-called white man worse than that. And this is a human. This is somebody you thinking that you can negotiate with and appease and make a bargain with and befriend. You have to be out your mind, G. You have to be smoking rocks, as we say. Can't do that. That man don't operate so. Read again, Baba Goshan, sir.
Can, the book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 14.
And
the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
The Lord says, since you didn't like how I want the things, this is how you want to operate for the rest of your life. I'll put everybody going to understand why it is the way it is do. As much as you try to deceive the whole world, as much as they try to do all that thing and hide all the obscene files and all the garbage, the world will know this is how you approve. Don't worry. Since you feel, you understand, you can play me then. Since you feel that you are more influenced and more sane, you know what to do with regards to people, no problem. This is your curse. This is your burden. You understand? This is exactly how you go operate, Mr. Oppressor, so-called white man. This is exactly what go happen with you now. You follow? This is going to be a punishment. So if this is how you like it, no problem. Go through. Where? Right? So on your belly you'll go, and you'll do every underhand thing you follow, and you'll never be able to do things. That's why he hands curse. When coming to doing any type of farming and all that, the ground does not yield it fruit, as the scriptures say. The ground that he plant, he doesn't see nothing come out of it. So it's all kind of GMOs, all kind of different things. Since you want to play God, so since that time, since Genesis 3, when Eve, you understand, decided to take on this dumbass, this idiot, you follow, then all right. Since you want to follow, you no problem. Yeah, you bro. Right? So since you want to operate, so since that time, this is what it is here. Since you feel you know how to play God and you feel like you're on the planet, no problem. This is what it is. And so-called white people today, as long as you want to lie to yourself and be as delusional as you want to and feel you're on top of things and you feel you know what to do, and you feel that we, in a sense, the these people on the earth and we resemble chimps, and if you would choose to use your brain, you would see hey, now by more resemble a chimp. The things that my people do is really, really disgusting in a way. But majority all they drinking the Kool-Aid, all they believe in that disgusting sauce, all they believe in that. Lying to your own self and thinking yeah, about you on top of things. And nobody's seeing with the king's emperor's new clothes. You're walking around with naked. And yeah, I want clothes, watch my suit. You could talk to me, watch my dress. Naked as you're born. Shameless. Dumb thing. So-called Black, Hispanic, Native, Indian man, woman, and child understand something. That your oppressor, this man does not deal in reality. Accept that for what it is. It is a long journey. The thing is, I know majority of why we doesn't want to believe that is because we believe that's the only way we could survive. That's why the records of the Bible here, and that's why God preserved it, to see when he pulled me out of Egypt, how we did actually survive. That we could survive. And when we play, we want to be like the oppressor again, we eat till we vomit out the mouth because he cannot pull. You know the scripture now saying, this man you follow, you can't appease him. If the grape gatherers come, they go tip the grapes and nobody gets, they might leave one, two, everybody gets this, or they might be full. They might grab everything and say, well, yeah, that's enough. That he want to dig under the ground and feel like it have more grapes there. You want to go the whole grape and ask him, where you going with it? Oh, all right, we're going to take it now. We're going all the money. Wait is you going to do with it? Ask him like a child. You want all the toys. You want everybody toy. You want she toy, he toy, grandpa toy, everybody toy you want. What you going to do with the toy? What you want it for? Can't tell you. And that is the man that they have you fearing and looking up to. It's only now, you understand, people seeing what's coming out. And who wanted maybe pain, make them start, your brain start to function again. So now I want to part of that no more. I'm good. Maybe pain cause that. Who knows? Or maybe, you understand, who feels it knows it. All of a sudden you start to feel. Before you had no feelings, you had no emotion, nothing needs to affect you. It was good. Now you follow that, I started. Now, yeah, boy, you feel any pinch, but feel any burn, boy. It was me. And here what is so disgusting about it, because you just pay them, you just pay your pastor and them, you just pay imams and them. You just contribute to them, you get them extra too, not only tithes. They don't eat off the tithes alone. Come TikTok, what they play my all kind of thing. Right? Yeah, you pay them. Right? You're paying your imam, you're paying your pastor and them fellas and them, and they're not doing the job. They're not interested in that. And they have everything right there for you, but they decide that they go on. So why does it not work for the so-called oppressor and ask you for a job inside there? Again, you can't have enough. The people that can't survive already. You want to tell them last night on Black Watch, right? We call it with the journals and them. That's someone I want to tune into. You can probably put it in the chat there somewhere. Right? Black Watch every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, right? About 9 Eastern Standard Time, somebody. Right? We hear that what are you saying again? Right. The The pastor telling the people, the congregation, and them to go ahead and pay the tithes, understand, before you buy groceries and them. And it's not because they will take care of the people, not because they want to fulfill the loss. Don't slow the money down. They have, you understand, a $20,000 bill to pay. A few of them. Those I surprised swallows still teaching, still preaching. Swallows. And people still believe in it. I tell them, my people have to be. How them is actually working in workplaces and things like, are you for real? I maybe think so, but them just operate on a different level. These people seeing what these men is and still pushing them as somebody to follow and somebody to listen to them. Absolute craziness. These men still, I to tell you how much wickedness people love. And sometimes you're thinking, and sometimes we're thinking, that these people is regular members. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes all of them is paid actors, but making you think that really and truly them is people in the congregation. Maybe it could be that. Paid actors that make you feel like them and them really and truly is people still believe in them. It could be that. I don't know. The amount of stupidness with the CBCIA do. All them, what you call it again? PSYOPs, they perform. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, then, so all that stupidness is only, you understand, the oppressor that's only run on lies. He's only run on deception. He's only run because all his thing is for you to not watch in the direction which is like the Epstein files and all that. He doesn't want you to operate and think and really evaluate what you're doing. Who it is you're giving your money to, where it is you're spending your time and all that. All of that is just distraction. Again, it's just shops set up, not a society. Because you can't tell me that in the Philippines and Malaysia and all them places in them, they have way less India and all them places in them. Look at a man, I remember having a conversation with an actual East Indian man from India. And the man tell me, hey, the bag of rice, you follow, that I seen, he say, I was absolutely shocked, absolutely amazed. India have 1 billion people. You know, the man telling me with his own mouth. You see, when I see the price that all they paying for rice, my jaw drop. Basically, paraphrasing what he said. He couldn't believe the price of the items. And kill we dead, we pay a price in negotiation. That cheap. That cheap. We paying about 10 times the amount. That is what he tell me, about 10 times the amount just paying for rice. With a country with 1 billion people in it. America 300 and something about that, about 300 and some million people. And they still care enough. It's not all kind of different problems all over the place. India in a much worse way. But you telling me the same thing, just like a planting outside there, a potato, a tomato, and all of that, a lettuce is a certain price in one place, on the next side of the world is a premium. And you thinking it's a bargain again. 2 for 10. 2 for 10, that time is $2 for $1. That is the person, you follow, and that is the regular operation. We talk about things that you absolutely need. That is things that may be optional. We think about things that you actually need. Like for here, we know for sure. If you pay attention, you go by the licensing office, you go by certain places, you're not seeing no Chinese there, you're not seeing no Syrian standing up in no line. If you work for some of them, they'll come and they'll meet passport and visa and all them different things home. But think you kill you dead, you operating under some normal system and there are laws. That is what your pastor want you to believe. They want that to continue. As long as they can have 2 minutes of pleasure, they go with that. So-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, organize yourself. If white people who may be watching the stream, wherever the case is, right? East Indian people, Chinese people, wherever the case is, support the end of this garbage. Support ISUPK under Commander General Yan. Support, when you see Black people and Native Indian people and Hispanic people, don't play your boot on their neck. They are the same people, you understand, that help take you out of this madness too. So that your sons and daughters ain't gonna get shipped off to Epstein Island. They might want to drink their blood and think they will live forever. You know, they don't like black children blood, right? You know that, right? Hispanic and Native Indian blood, you know that, right? Jeffrey Epstein and them fellas are racist, so they want their own kind. So whoever it is, they can snatch. Why do you think all these people has been missing like that? Like what they on? So wake the hell up. Come up the drugs. Come up the lies. Stop your nonsense. Right? And push faster because God now will have mercy in it. It's like you had mercy in rehab. All the people that want to use their brains, all the people that want to do the thing that will make sense, do that. Focus on that. Pay your mind in. Stop, you understand? Then your press again one upon you. Because whoever done side of them already, they inside. You don't worry about that. That ain't your focus. That ain't your business. We have things to do. If you want to see a change on the planet, you really actually don't support the Epstein files and all this nonsense, you know what to do. Isupk.com. Call and find out if I ever sit here in how I can help this thing, how I can help fix this place. You have all this trust fund and all this kind of garbage over the cases. Find out how you can now contribute to putting things in place so God can have some mercy on your family. And all this nonsense can finish. That's what it is. That's what the Lord saying things like these. Here he's saying, right? Choose none of your ways and be not the oppressor. Give me Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31, Bible. That's what the Lord saying these things because this is your ways. Don't feel that you're going to, I go choose some of this. You know what I mean? I go take a little play here, and I ain't go get drafted into everything else because that is how he is operate. Don't feel like going to be friends. All these rappers and all of them, they just think that that I will just come in and take a slice and I smart. No, he wants your dignity. He wants your body. He wants your backside for the men. If all you want he want to destroy your soul. He don't want you to come against him. He wants to break you. So the one Bible shows. You're not on that. You're not on regular, business deals and no G. Not on that. Bible shows.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Right? So he's telling you, the envy the person, choose none of his ways. The feel you're going up, we go on party. And I mean, Jim Carrey throwing a party and all that. Jim Carrey, right? Who knows? He looked like one of the men who does use the brain. Yeah, but don't envy that. Jim Carrey, understand? Whoever can get a message to him, support Isupk. We'll look at the work that men doing, Commanding General they are doing, generals and them, the captains, the officers, over the sisters and them, children and them, and support that. Where you see the most amount of fruit closest to you, do that. Do it. Help where you see. Go there and put your coins there. Put your wherever your structure, wherever the cases, wherever you can do that. Do that there. Right? That is acceptable with God. Let the men them and that's one tell you different. Contribute to that. So that you can get ease up. Because what coming here, you understand, you ain't want to part of it. Right? Give me Micah chapter 2 and verse 10, Bible. Yeah.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10. Arise ye and depart.
The Lord saying again, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, child. We don't Bible.
For this is not your rest.
Arise and depart, for this is not your rest because
it is polluted.
Because it is polluted. It's not a nice place. It's not a place that that things may change later on. If the same man who try to integrate in the place, they don't want you to hear this part. They just push everything else he's saying. Never this part. I am afraid that I integrated my people into a burning house. When you make the out. How come you never put? He said that too. Why you push that? Why do push that so the people who claim that they really actually for God people and they really love black people and they really love and they want to see the world go good, they can stop hide. Why didn't push that? Now they are not to hide behind against and say Martin Luther King was so good and he was so great of a man. Yeah, the more these people and them do, the more these people them can hide, is the worse the place will get and the more destruction will come upon. on the earth, the whole place. So don't nothing like white people exclude from this and all that. You see the pain that you're suffering. You see the pain all they're going through. These men don't, your forefathers and them, they don't operate on no moral plane. They don't have fear grounds with them. They don't love with them. They know nothing about that. They like to continue to foolish and they like to abuse. They like to thief. They get a high on that. And all them shows, watch with this push. All them TV shows, all the movies, all of that. No hero thing, really and truly watch it. Anything to survive, anything goes. Watch how it is, watch the kind of excitement is getting it. Watch how easily they can embody these frames, these rules. Watch what it's doing in real life. Watch what we call it, buck fever is. Watch them things. Again, the point is not to, understand, not to get caught up in the lie, in the delusion, in the deception. You're given to the hands of the wicked, right? And this is what he does do. You want to cover up judges, meaning nobody is to come and really give you the rundown of how things to go. That's why they'll never see no debate in Congress with the ISUPK versus Congress. And they're looking to try to play some kind of fear fight. Come up against me and see if the laws of the Constitution versus the laws of the Bible. Right? We don't have as enough power and as influence as the Congress. Right? As the so-called white man. We don't have that power. But if you would put the structures that the Lord put in place versus the Constitution, you would see there's a great divide. You would see a reality of, hey, really and truly that this so-called great Constitution that how much men shed the blood for ain't all that. It ain't all poked up to what it is we purported to be, but there's a reason for that. Yeah? Why nobody could go against we call it all them government contracts that is so exorbitant. And that's the thing across the world. Every government contract and order define the fee, the money will be exorbitant. And it is to suck in the right people. All the people that knows what's going on behind the scene, that is for we to enjoy. As for prostitution, for child, we call it child trafficking and all these things, that is for that to continue. That is so that we could never see it and could never correct sin. Because all are we doing evil together. That is exactly for that. That is what that's for. That is not for some, we to cut little film and, we are thing and we adjust and, you know what I mean? In case of cost overruns, that is not for that. That ain't that. Yeah. And if you would open your eyes and see exactly what's going on today, then you know what I mean, you have no choice but to agree, but that is exactly what's going on. But from the time you notice, okay, this is what's going on, right? So what is the alternative? That is what the Lord still have men opening them out and talking for, because there is an alternative. It never was supposed to reach this far. That's what the Lord saying. Give me the scripture we're talking about when the Lord say, a senator punish them, but you overdo it. You know what I'm talking about? Let me see if I can get it. In the meantime, you're pulling Zephaniah 14 and 12, Baba Kisha. Again, because it have an end to all this. Right? I don't feel that this will continue, and then God will just say, well, now I'm going to touch that. I don't gain the affairs of men. And you know what I mean? And because blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians following and doing all this crime here, it's reasonable for God to allow this to continue. Don't feel you don't want to pass up there. But it have a criteria for that to happen. Right?
Zephaniah, what and 12?
14 and 12,
14?
Yeah, 14 and 12. Zephaniah. Sorry, Zechariah. Yeah.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherein the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away, while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Right, so you see them things that they're trying to prevent from happening. Those what you call intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? Which was World War III. What they're trying to prevent? Yeah. That is exactly how this is going to come to an end. Right? Exactly what the Lord wants to do. So as much people, right, that the Lord looking for, decide you're going, I coming back to do exactly what the most I want to do. As long as that's what happen, that is when this could move a little faster. When the same holes are going out to the sockets in the eyes, that is exactly what the Lord wants to do. Yeah. So all he wants in the meantime is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to come back and do what we were supposed to do in the beginning and ignore the serpent. As we see the mistake that our foremother made, right, which is Eve. We see the mistake that she made in Genesis 3. Right? Don't listen to this man, because this man, when we listen to him, we see the end result. Read the Zechariah 14 and 12 again, Baba Kushaza.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
So all them that fought against Jerusalem, meaning the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Nobody fighting and nobody having pound down and all of that. They ain't doing that, right? Psalm 33 give you a run from 1 to 6, I think, somewhere. Right? All the nations in them, and the biblical names today, like Moab is Chinese, Ammon is Japanese, Edom is so-called white man. Slovakia, right? Caribbean side, down is African nations, all of them that come together in a league today, they have the association, Chinese association, all of them that on the UN. There's no representation for the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian seeking their best interest on the UN Council. So everybody else basically went against the children of Israel. Them is who the Lord prepared that judgment for. So that is what we're saying. That's how Rahab had enough sense, so-called white woman, so-called white man, do, you understand, or support the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, because there's a penalty to pay for all that. So we're talking about the lake of fire and all that you believe is under the ground. The same way that the serpent, right, your forefather Esau, right, and his descendants and them was punished and cursed on the earth. The same thing going to happen, the same punishment with them same ballistic missiles, the same sea, the lake of fire going to happen on the earth. Not some, they're going and changing this into some magic show all of a sudden. You understand? This is not going, nobody going to get no magician cloak and wand and all of that and turn into some kind of Houdini overnight. No. Exactly what going to see the same wickedness happening on the earth. Exactly on the earth is where the punishment going to happen. That's why people is born and die on the earth. That's why things rise and fall on the earth. Lord say already, the earth is my footstool and heaven is my throne. You say already, you understand that if you come down here, the mountains will melt. I don't deal in all it, I don't deal in how all it is deal. I just operate, you follow, and everything here is sensible. Captain Gahan say something important. You see, you have a quote that say, the law is common sense. Right? So like I said, give me Isaiah 47 and 6, Baba Kushan. Listen up, so-called black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, woman, and child, and all the other heathen, meaning non-Israelite, non-black, Hispanic, and Native Indian races. Listen to this good.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy.
Thou didst show them what?
No mercy.
Go ahead.
Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
Upon the ancient, meaning the old, you heavily laid the yoke. In slavery, that old men and old women with big iron chain and all kind of different spike thing that prevent them from eating and running away and all that are wrong way. All kind of 50 pound and 40 pound thing. Cage wrong with mouth and all kind of different things. Some slaves that used to rebel, used to knock out the teeth and force a funnel down the throat and feed we with oats. So that we stay strong enough to continue to full of bags and toil the soil and all kind of different wickedness on the plantation. All manner equal to do. So the Lord said, I gave my inheritance, my children. You follow my people that I give to govern the earth. That's why he tell Adam and Eve do certain things. Tell Solomon, he tell Jacob, all of them coming up the line. Tell them do this. And as he reach Isaiah now, a couple hundred years, a couple thousand years, whatever the case is, progress. And now we understand coming into slavery from Babylon to Babylon, whatever the case is, the same time, I think we in Babylon. I gave him my inheritance and he decided to go overboard. Now 500 years from the time that we even knew who we was according to the Bible, because they stripped us since this was the worst period of slavery that we went through. Listen up good, heathens. Listen up good, so-called white, Chinese, East Indian, African, Persian men, women. Listen very good. Right? So from this time here now, they showed the old people, the ancient, and them, they didn't show them no mercy. They didn't show the children and them no mercy. They put paper bags over their head and they made them have intercourse with one another and breed one another. They had children breeding their mothers. They had fathers breeding their daughters. They had grandfathers breeding their own, you understand, granddaughters and this kind of madness. Forcefully. Stripping them of dignity, stripping them of bare humanity. You strip them out of that. Starve them to where they're fighting for scraps, to function, to eat, to where they're doing all manner of heinous things. Just the same way in Christ's time, when he tell we, not long after that, the siege, when they see the siege coming, run to the hills. Them who didn't run to the hills, they went and eat babies, all kind of madness, all kind of different things. Mother eating babies, your own children. That is what the oppressor did us. All of you all sign up together with them. So if you really and truly is not on that side, heathens, listen very good. Do everything in your power. You follow to now make amends. For the Lord to say, all right, I see that you're making a genuine effort to help my people. You understand? Come out of this. I will decide that I will have mercy upon you. And your children and whoever it is, the Lord choose to have mercy, as he say. You would want to contribute to that. Now, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native, Indian man, woman, and child, we get the roadmap to come out of this because that is what your presidents do. So it's not like, and all who even force and fooled into thinking that Hispanics is now we own people and Hispanic thinking that Black people is now we own people. That is one of the worst things that ever happen to you. Your whole family, you get destroyed right in front of your face and they can't recognize a win. Imagine that. Right? Read on to verse 7, Baba Gishasa.
God, book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 7. And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
So you're saying I can be a lady. Nobody going to make me no grandmother, no widow, no whore. You understand? Nobody's going to punish me. I will be a fair looking, nice woman. I will be a bad, as they say now, I a bad bitch. You follow? So now, what you talking about? I'll be untouchable. You can't touch me. We don't have verse 8, Baba Gishasa.
Verse 8. Therefore, hear now this. Thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
You saying, hey, I'm not going to lose no manpower. Nobody going to make me no widow. You talking about? We're going to be strong forever. Untouchable. That is what the oppressor think in his mind. That's what Donald Trump and him saying. When he say, if he went to war, he declared it before it done. He like, you know, hey, I don't care what you all think. This is what I say and what I say goes. But he will get a shocker. Simple as that. The Lord wants you to understand this so-called Black, Hispanic, Native, Indian man, woman, and child. That's what the Lord wants. He wants so that you understand that there's an alternative. Now, that is why the ISUPK is set up under Commander General Yana. Because this year he don't know that this man is not going to change his approach. He's not going to care. He doesn't know what that look like. Read on, Baba Gishasa.
Verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day: the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in the perfection of the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments.
You don't understand?
Verse 10. For thou hast trust in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
You done? Verse 11.
Verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
Right? So don't feel you're going to get a warning sign. Right? So so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, woman, and child, we first, right, must understand that is for who cares. Who don't care, no problem. But for all that care, right, you have a roadmap to follow. There is a different way to approach this thing, a different way to come out of all this madness. Right? Now, for the heathens, the so-called white people, the so-called Chinese, the so-called East Indian, the so-called all of that, do not feel you're going to get enough time to run in a bunker. Don't feel you follow that you will get some kind of ease up. And now for the rest of the existence, which is forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. This kind of payment that you know you feel something wrong, and you might for all them that might get history passed down, and you know that some serious coming, don't feel you're going to get enough time to hide from all this. Just now the officer read in Zechariah 14:6, right? That hey, the hole in the sockets will burn away. That kind of pain, you say, hey, that kind of pain, you feel a loss of children, like if a mother lost a child and them kind of thing before, you know, either through birth, which is very unfortunate, or the son or daughter may have been unalive. That kind of pain, you feel, you know, I mean, the pain of losing somebody, a real true heartbreak, really and truly losing a loved one, that type of pain, G. Yeah, the Lord is going to maximize that, and he's going to feel it to your core, and you will not be able to hide and say, who seeth me? That is a very foolish thing to do. That is what you press on. That is what the leader of the free world on. That is what you all decide to join with. This dumbass. This dummy. Understand what the Lord trying to help you understand, G. That you're better on bread and you're better on the wrong thing. Always bet on black. So bet on black. Get your backside up, you follow, and do what it is you have, the power and the influence to do. For your own sake. You just give you fear warning. That's what the prophets of the Most High always used to do. And truly, really and truly, and if it look, and the thing is, the Lord's so gracious to be able to still give you a warning, to still give you a heads up. Because other people, we should just be vengeful and say, forget all about it. We want to care for it. And when things come up and we have the opportunity to do all the wickedness, we should do it. According to the natural order, according to the law of the jungle. Jungle justice is happening. You all should pay for every last wickedness that you all or your people do. Now, even if we don't want to hear if you do it. Because the all doesn't want to hear if we do it. We just all pay. You don't go through that. Nobody give you no break, and now he wasn't here. Nobody give you no consideration. We just all pay. So you're going, you will all pay to a certain degree. Let's believe that. But here's what, you can pay less. If you're really and truly about that, if you're really about goodness. If you're not, then he's supposed to be listening here. You know, he's supposed to be doing something here. And so the Lord just build up more curtail for you to dismantle it while you're living. Because you're not using your body parts for what it's used for. You're not using your brain for what it's there for. You should just dismantle it and make you feel that feeling while you're alive. It make you feel, you know what I mean, that it's not just so. Things operate how you feel it should operate and all of that garbage. No, that ain't not this. Right? Give me Revelation 11 and 14, Baba Kushas.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past,
Right?
and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Verse 15. And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven, saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord, and of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever.
Right, so let me do some maths now. How much people died in World War 1 and 2? What do you maths say there? That's you know, let's see. Anybody pull up Baba Gusha? How many people died in World War 1 and 2? I know why you're pulling up. Baba Gusha, 2. So the world are coming, the thing that all you feel, you know what I mean, you can get away from. And you know what I mean, nobody gonna see me and it's gonna be a cool scene by you talking about you talking about, you don't care about that. If you know what I mean, your brain halfway working, halfway operational, yes, I mean, but this did happen, eh? This is something that did happen. And the Bible saying that's as it's prophesied before that. That same prophecy we now reading 11 and Revelation 11 and 3, right? Talking about this now. Eh? So like I said, we read from again 11 and what? 4, 5 or
So like 11 and 15.
15, yeah, 11 and 15, right? We're talking about the first word that passed and the second word passed. Those things are prophesied way before the time. And the Lord letting you know a third one coming, but it's third, it have no more after this. So all them nice juicy missiles and them, it have the Chinese and them, right? Because you don't know, but people that understand history, they know exactly what's going on and they know who is who. The Chinese, the forefather name is Moab. They have a bomb, they have an intercontinental ballistic missile, a warhead, a nuclear warhead that marked Moab on it. Look it up. You're just talking that talk. It marked Moab on it. They let you know we is the same people, we know who we is, and we in this fight, we in this war, we bad. Two lion like men of Moab, they had, that's in the Bible. They had warriors, they always was fierce. They always had a contender. Don't watch them today and feel they're small and they chinky eye and if you don't push them around and all that. No. Everybody always had contenders. They always had a level of real bad men. I feel like there's some, everybody's walking around and it's once that big, once that push over and all that, don't get waxed. So all the persons how you feeling so that you can just do anything and get with it. It's not the case. Baba Gusha, my Lord, reality.
The mic on, eh? The mic on? Yeah,
Just now? Yeah. Toa, yeah.
Right, I'm reading what I have here, right? World War I resulted in an estimated 15 to 22 million deaths.
In World War I, 15 to 22 million deaths across the world. And in fact, let me see if I can pull up that real quick. Read it again. And let me see.
Okay? World War I resulted in an estimated 15 to 22 million deaths.
Right, so all that time, right? And what year it did? I think it's 1919 or something like that.
All right, that's the one. While World War II was significantly deadlier, with total deaths estimated between 60 and 85 million.
Right, in World War II, 60 and 85 million. And that was about 20-something years to 30 years apart. Right, but I think in the First World War I, check it out from Baba Kasha. I think it's 19-something to 1919.
I can't. Yeah. Let us read this little piece about Baba Kasha.
For sure, go to.
Yeah, combined, the two wars caused over 75 million to over 100 million deaths, making the most destructive conflicts in human history.
You understand? And that time, G, how much? 100 and something million people within less than 50 years. Yeah, and the world, and the same, the third one come now. The earth, about 6 point something billion people, maybe, or 7 now, somewhere around there. Right? Yeah, so in world, the population during World War I, fully and population in 1939 when World War II, Babakasha. In the meantime, right?
Say that one more time, Salakia.
Fully the world population in World War II from Babakasha. I want to hear it.
Come on.
So, right? So the world population during World War I, 1914 to 1918, was approximately 1.7 to 1.8 billion people. And at that time, it's about how much person on average in World War I?
The deaths?
Yeah, around an average.
Salakia. World War I resulted in an estimated 15 to 22 million deaths.
15 to 22 million people. You understand that in that World War? That is the first World War that. So they didn't really know about war that time. And the first time, second time is about almost 10 times the amount. Or 8 times the amount, the second time. And that is within 30 years, and that technology wasn't so. Why do you think they're so afraid? When you see that World War happened, I mean the bombs up on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Up to now, it still have bomb prints on the people who were in Japan. And certain areas it's devastated. Look what going in the Middle East right there just now. Look what going in Syria and all the places when they decimate them place. Why do you think they be afraid? And I mean talking about what do you call this thing? Nuclear missiles yet. Some are regular missile. You know about nuclear, you don't know that is utter destruction. That is what the Lord see coming. That is the time when men knowing that is that there are no more negotiation, nothing. Men still bombing one another, unaliving one another, and still trying to make and these men who don't care, but they don't know that certain things cannot go on. If this thing pop up, they still know it have a limit to destruction. Still have a limit to that. When they decide they have no more talking, that we reach the end of it, right? And the Lord decided, yes, I'm putting it in. I'm going to send angels to put it into their mind that this kind of destruction coming up here, and they get how much years? 1940. It's almost 100 years past. And look how fast the technology come from World War I to World War II. Now it's almost World War III. And look at the kind of technology they have. America launching lasers. They have other people like Shaw have lasers to shoot down rockets. Elon Musk trying to set up something on Mars. The world richest man on paper trying to set up something on Mars, to fight God, to fight certain interplanetary defense and all that. You know how true that technology is now? That is why men afraid. When men who spy on one another, look, they kill, they unalive this man in Iran, some Israeli man who was inside the government in Iran, they unalive him recently. These men, when they bring back that information, that is why men are playing mad and popping it off so. So what coming and cook? And the world has done shaken already. How much devastation. Look up how much what they went through to try and restore them places. Men are playing mad, men are jumping out of themselves and activating. So they know this one here, it is that, and they know according to the records. You see what Moab mark? The Chinese mark? Moab on the bomb. They're making it to understand we don't fear. We don't care. We let it know all day. For whoever I see and ears to hear, they're making it to understand the time of the day. So called Black, Hispanic, Native, Indian man, woman, and child, the Lord does not want that for his heritage. See, you want to punish the people them who decide that they're going to take it overboard. And Isaiah 47 now read it, 6 down to 9 somebody. The Lord wants to punish the people them who decide by they could touch up my people and them. But the Lord is a real just man, a real fair man. He wants the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian to come back to their heritage and do what they're supposed to do. And he don't even want, understand, the people in them who should get some mercy to get mercy. He's saying that I will have mercy on who I will have mercy. And there's a way to win the Lord mercy. He said that, not me. I play. We just take shape, we just take form. The Lord just form me and we just do exactly what it is here to say. If not, he just show you way. As he tell Moses, say, boy, move all the way, and let me just make more people who don't want to listen to me. Well, no problem. I don't deal with that. I don't go through all that long talking and plead them a chant begging. Yeah, I don't do that. I play with sword. I would the Lord say. I when he come back, he say I go play with the sword. When he listen back Christ, that we going to do. I gonna make it understand your God. When I say to do something, this what I mean. Go on and check what you call it. Go and check truth. As you say, I come on. He said, go on and check all it. You know what I mean? They talk now. Yeah. Yeah, but so the Lord really actually he don't want to feed people on him. He don't want that, you know what I mean? He don't want to punish the earth the way the earth looking for punishment. That's how you ever see you ever really actually taking like a black father. That man said they use fathers and them kind of thing. They can tell it. They don't want to go through that with the train and them thing. That is why they train the train a certain way. They know what the Bible says and they understand these things, so they don't want them to for that to happen. They never study in I think it's Japan or China, right? They just make sure the children them grow up a certain way. They ensure that they do this, they do this, they do this, they do that. As opposed to a study between America and China. They're letting you know the children don't have choice. Do what it is I say because I understand the protection for that. I understand why I just put that in place. This is none light. None to take for granted and play. You could think of this. No. When the oppressor saying this and this, well, you have to recognize when he's saying something, what does he really mean behind that? What does he really intend to do? Not what he just saying and talking out the top of your mind and you feeling, you know, that is the plan. What is the action behind it? What is she showing me then? Every time you say this is what is follow. Every time you say this is what is follow. When you mean to do this is exactly what has come apart here. Look what Venezuela forced to obey. Basically, because they don't want what happening to keep happening to them right now. But here we're going on. One of the most amazing things we might see and might get very encouraged by is Cuba still survived to a certain degree. It's one of the most important things you could see because now, for your own self, you could see that hey, everything that your oppressor saying we need, we really don't need. It's one of the hardest things for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to accept right now. That is what does keep majority of us from not doing the right thing and getting caught up in all this garbage. Because we don't believe that we could do it without. It's one of the biggest biggest lies and biggest deception on the planet. And the thing is, we could understand. And the same Jones, we had to fight through it. That's exactly we had to fight through it because now we're trying to trap here. Give me Colossians chapter 3 and verse 5, Baba Kisha. Anybody who have?
Come.
Saying you know.
You can't Salakia.
Let's Salakia. Give me 1 second, Baba Kisha.
Come.
Right? So we saying, the Lord saying this. You know, hey, I know being under these people and them, what it is you gotta go through. That is why in this time here, Paul and them telling the people in Colossae this time, and this week come like and we living now in Panama somewhere. So we now get kicked out of like say America, we get kicked out of Israel, and now we live in Panama somewhere. So now Paul letting them know, hey, you're going to Lord, what is fear? Because you know, hey, under this influence, this is how these people operate. You know, it's only unlawful, it's just wickedness. You know, it's pure corruption. You know, this is the way them does live. This is the standard and this is the bare minimum. The bare minimum is corruption. So from that now he said, this is what you're gonna have to do. You gotta fight to protect your own self, to win back your own humanity, your own mind, your own sense of really being able to think and to really operate the way a human being is supposed to operate, the way a human being designed to operate. All right, go ahead when you have it, Baba Kisha. Colossians 3.
Can. The book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Fornication,
mm-hmm.
uncleanness.
Pause right there. Right? So fornication is just going right back to Egypt. When coming out today, Officer Michael Hall, Leviticus chapter 18 from Baba Kisha. When coming out of Egypt, there's the same exact thing that Moses had to do it with. The same exact thing Paul now reminding us the same thing to do. We know under these, every time we under these oppressors and them, this is how they just live. So he's telling you to kill these things in them. Mortify these things in them, because I know you're under the influence of them. I know in Trinidad you're under the influence of Carnival, Bacchanal, Dumping, 6, 7, 8, 9, all of that. You have to kill that, because that now is self-harm, self-infliction. You're wounding yourself, you're poisoning yourself slowly. He knows this is the exact way these men operate. Read it again, Baba Kishafu.
Can. The book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness,
Right.
inordinate affection, evil concupiscence.
Right. So fornication, unlawful sex, kill that. Even the thought, you know what I mean? You're even thinking, you know what I mean, to really actually explore or find out about that, or think about it, or laugh about it. That's not even a joke. Mortify that, kill that. That is destruction. That is poison. Kill that. You understand? Don't have that as no joke or no thing. And with it, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's acceptable. And God love the sinner and hate the sin. No, that is not a part of society and right thinking and right operation. We don't do that. That is not acceptable here. That's what the Lord wanted to do, and make sure that you're on top of uncleanness. You follow? Same around the same lines. Unclean thinking, unclean behavior. You don't want to operate on that. Understanding for what it is, you know the opposite on that. You don't mingle that. You don't mix it up. Anything, and you can make all the joke and all the laugh, and you can want that all you want. You don't take part in that. Whatever you want, you don't want to refine it. That's not funny and all that. You want to oppress in your job, whatever the case is, you just stick it out until you can do something better. Or if you have to die, die. That's what the Lord wants. He knows that if you don't poison yourself, this would not continue to poison people, and you would not be seeing what we see today. And then you can have a chance at building something clean, something proper. As he intended from the beginning with Adam. You don't know, Kisha?
Can. And covetousness, which is idolatry.
And covetousness, you follow? Do not be longing after the things that I'm not saying, though, envy the oppressor, envy what your brother have, your sister have, none of that. It is a lazy, disgusting, filthy, and definitely poisonous thing to do to your own self. To be covetous. To covet. You want what you didn't work for, you want what you didn't, but don't do that, that's not for you. If your father decides you want to give 10 more things to you, to your sister, and you give one to you, be grateful what the one thing you have. Find out how it is, I can use this. Maybe the Lord might see, all right, you could possibly use more, or you say, this is good, and this end up being something that's so impactful, it be so useful. But be contented with it. Learn how to use that He gave you. Train yourself to be on that. That is what you didn't understand under these oppressors and them. He wanted to make sure that come up for you, because He know that is exactly what they show in the earth. He, not the oppressor, not satisfied with those 70 years. Children have to be alive. You have to get trafficked. You have to abort babies. Almost 500,000 so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian babies being unalive, being genocide. Did a year. In a year time for this man to experiment, to try and live 2 years longer, to go on traffic and molest and abuse her. You want more years to do more destruction on the earth? No. And that is the influence on that. So that is going to do them things, is going to gravitate to that. Lord, don't want you on that. We don't have a bishop.
Can. Verse 6.
No, Slack, yeah, this a little bit again, which is right after covetousness. I don't know if you read it again, it could be my bad.
Yeah,
Right
no,
after
can.
covetousness.
Evil concupiscence and covetousness, which is idolatry.
Which is idolatry. Right? Now, when the Lord telling you, I don't want no other gods before me, which is idolatry. Whether it be a self, whether it be a birthday and Christmas and all of that, He knows why. When your father tell you, I don't want you going outside after 6 o'clock when the sun go down by yourself as a young lady, as a young man in certain places, you know why? Because you know the dangers that have across there. What you're supposed to know is that, hey, you're supposed to be able to do that, but no, with under the influence of these religious leaders and the pastors and your imams and your politicians and all them, that going under this man who does live by the sword, who does live by life and by murder. That is the way he does operate. So now when this man influencing you, he just leading into the path of destruction for our feeling's sake. We know idolatry A is poison G. He don't know that like that, like problems, like pain. Right? Why he doesn't want you on that. And you want them. This is what now. So the oppressor have that pushing now through all these different avenues. So now it's going on its own. It is running on automatic, on autopilot. So now it's such a big fight. And you know, all these things. And then here's destruction. This is the translation basically. So now this is the blank background. It's like, you know, your big brother or your younger brother, whatever you want to call it, whatever the case is, right? Whatever you want to see it, it doesn't matter. What the Lord wants is for you to come out of that. And we'll let you get some comments instead of get real thinking and don't worry, everything will fall in place. We just want you to do what it is supposed to do. Because we know the more we do that and continue to do that amongst each other, the faster we get out of this madness. How is it? Get them habits on them, on them top of them things in them. Right? Read on Babagusha, verse 6.
Verse 6. For which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience.
Right, the way the wrath is fierce anger, is fierce punishment coming down. Because he knows that if I allow this to come down, just as the same way he used to unalive witches, right? Witches, drug dealers today. The same way he definitely did not want that poison to be spread and abusers. The same extreme men in them. Back in that day, they dare not do that because they don't know it's unalive and coming. Your head is going to go on a chopping block. Your head is going to go on a pipe. Because that is not something to be allowed to spring, to live, to get no mercy, to get no trial. I'm trial with that. And this man is ruling over here. He wants to continue that as much as possible, and he will oppress, suppress, destroy, starve out, whatever it is it takes. He doesn't have enough. You have Venezuela already locked right now in 2026, March the 17th or something, March 17th. To this day, you have it locked. America, the type of oil, there's the perfect synchronization for America to produce so much oil. You have it already in your possession. And you're still not satisfied. You're still going to want people on the next side. This man does not operate, this being does not operate under what do you call it? Thinking and logic and reason. He does not understand that. This beast does not understand that. That is not something to go and gamble with and play with and all of that. You better ask a question and say, boy, I feel a little lying. Tell me that. I feel a little lying, boy. Hey, come and tell me the truth. Show me them things in it. Show me whether this man is so and what they saying that the Bible saying this and he was serpent and all that. But the Bible don't talk about in the earth. Well, like, show me that. Show me. But they do that. Come and ask you 1,000 questions. You rather that. And they get the clarity on what's going on. Clear up that fog in your mind. But they get that. That continuing this madness. Because this year, what's that? Maybe if your child was in a cage somewhere in Texas, right? And one of them ICE people, the hostage, the holy child hostage, maybe you would have seen what's going on. Right? Officer Mike, what you from again? You're starting from most one back.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, say unto them, I am the Lord your God. Verse 3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein he dwelleth, shall he not do, and after the ways of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, ye shall not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Verse 4, ye shall do my judgments, keep my ordinances, to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. Verse 5, ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them.
Right, so the Lord saying, if you do these things, you will live. If you keep the statutes of my judgment, you will live. If you don't, you will face severe punishment. You will face real judgment, real hell. But we didn't see, because we didn't drop down one time now, because we charting from Egypt now. We didn't see that wasn't the case. We didn't, you know what I mean? Nobody dropped down and they like fly and fought out them out and all the genitals fall apart and all of that. So we thinking, nah, I'm not seeing. Or maybe somebody was playing we got a hot press back in Egypt that time. Nah, it happens for that. That portion for that, man. Don't worry yourself. Today, you understand? LGBTQ men, right? Knowing that it happens for that. So, hey, it's man and man. Lord saying, hey, you do that, you understand? You do my judgments and then you understand some. And the thing is, because we don't see the real penalties and all these things happening right away, now we think, you know what I mean? Now we can slip it. We can play a little bit with it. Don't worry yourself, you know what I mean? We read on to the verse 6. You read on to 6 publications.
Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 6. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord. Verse 7. The nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother shall thou not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness.
Pause right there. Today, in the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community, a lot of sisters, right, don't know that this is an act of war on you. Right? Now, the thing is, we've been privileged to understand certain things, and we have a lot of sight now and ability to really take into consideration things that are happening. There's a lot of sisters, right, that would do things ignorantly, daily, in front of the children. Be on the camera, you understand, maybe taking a picture, right? Certain things, even going and taking a bath with the sons and daughters, they don't know that these things that is not to do. The oppressor, so-called white man today, have a very known custom of incest and inbred children and all of that. That is a regular thing with him. Since the time of Egypt, the Lord, this is the first established written record where the Lord has said these things are never to do. You don't understand right now, sisters, maybe walking around in a brassiere and a panty, do not understand that they're showing the nakedness to the sons and daughters, which that and all is not to be done. You don't even understand these things. Some of them just come out of the shower just as they're born and change right in front of the children and do understand these things them is not to be done. It is if you're walking on you by mistake, child small, you know, everybody guesses they didn't know, that is a different, but I'm talking about knowingly doing these things. That is something that they should not do. Right? They don't know after a certain age, your child and all, not they're supposed to clean themselves and go to the toilet and all that on their own. The parents not even supposed to be seeing them. That is how dread that is. And because the oppressor is such a disgusting being, he does make this thing so normal to where you're thinking of what people saying when they say this thing, when the Lord saying this, you want to curse God. You almost want to fly in God's face and them to slap. Force your poison, force your mind, been destroyed. There's a lot of things, some real simple things. Like how the general bring us something yesterday, not yesterday, but sometime recently. You were saying that right now, and I didn't know, me and all didn't know certain things. like well, women just go for waxing and all that, right? Better to do at home. Certain things. I mean, everybody had a preference on what they like and over the cases, but like another nation, another even like a Japanese and whoever, it is not supposed to be seeing a woman. This is not she going to deliver a baby. That's why we had midwives too. All of that is the culture that they take away from us. Certain ways we just do things. All of that because we have access to it. So now anything that we could get to basically just function or just to barely get by, we do it. But we just don't know a lot of things. It's because the oppressor, right? The destroyer of the earth, the destroyer of worlds, right? The poison, the plagues that are walking plague running the planet. And because it's coming from so much ways, and we don't understand what they're putting in the food, what they're giving to the children. If they're doing that to this level, what is it doing otherwise? Certain things now coming to the surface, the way they put the lead in the water and all of that. There's a lot of things the Lord is protected from, but it's not because we're indestructible, not because we're not susceptible to it, not because we can't be affected by it. The grocery, 90%, 90-something% of what in the grocery will kill you is poison that you're dependent on to buy when the day comes. So that is something that you need to really and truly, well, if you want to, talking to the people that want to come out of this. People that want to support this modern system. It might not be a black man, it might be a Hispanic man, it might be a Native Indian man, woman, or child. But you have a sincere wanting to get some kind of mercy and some reason for this madness. ISUPK, under Command and General Liam. Right? What you want to do for both of them? What you want to do? You want to finish it?
Yeah.
All right. So, well, that's the long and short of it, right? The Lord's Passover coming just now, April 4th. We're going again into history in terms of what it is the Lord do for the children of Israel and bringing back the clear understanding of what it is we just do, why we just do it, and what the Lord really truly set up, what He wants on the earth, and what is the solution, what always was things that work for the so-called black man, and really and truly have been able to understand how to survive while coming out of this madness. Yeah, so for all them that can make it to Houston, right, the 4th, you want to go to isupk.com or find the nearest ISUPK to you and inquire or ask a question in terms of how to get to the Lord's Passover. So you can start get to understand that, right? In Trinidad, right, it'll be at the school, Lampole number 1, Morris Street, Point Fortin, right? So you want to get in touch with Officer Sawap Yala, which is the camp leader. His number is 479-8286, right? Even before that, whatever it is, you have need of, you have questions to ask and all that. This is what it is here for, the first time. It's not because we like to lie and thing and thing. Yes, we just enjoy one another company, but that is not it for. What you fight is for getting the people out of this mess. Yeah, we and all in past times, we participated in the destruction of our own people unknowingly. We get all the chance now. We want you all to have all the chances as well to come out of this madness. Yeah? Without the party class about the priest and what are you doing?
This is the ISP security announcements. We are the ISP out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command in Johnny Hunt. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be student only. They are here to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if your brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew and pronounced Maisha. 10% of every penny the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation. The upcoming Holy Convocation is the Lord's 57th annual Passover, right, which is the 14th day of the first month, right, which is Saturday, April 4th, 2026. You can find this in Exodus chapter 12, verses 1 to 51, Leviticus chapter 23, verses 4 to 5, and 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 7 to 8, and 2 Chronicles chapter 30 and verse 17, right? Remind Archeum and Abacium to check on social media such as ISPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black. It includes black boots, like shirt, like headband and staff. And we say, imagine, sir, we're going to turn and face the east, and we're going to begin with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabashamai, Kwadash, Haya, Shamka, Yahau, Malbaka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Baratiza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamaya, Latan Nawa, Lakam, Kad, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kawawat Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawawat Nawa, Wala'a, Tabia Nawa, Wanasayawat, Abal, Oshina, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Wataparat, Waiwalamya, Aman.
In English, our Father,
O Father,
God in heaven,
Child in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Power,
Yahweh,
kingdom
thy
come,
kingdom come,
will be done,
thy will be done
on earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread,
Give us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
forgive
as we forgive
our debtors.
our debtors,
Lead us not
and lead us not
into
into
temptation,
temptation,
deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
Thine is the
For
kingdom,
thine is the kingdom,
the power,
and the power,
the glory,
and the glory, forever.
be it.
So be it. Sir, men of Israel, let us give the teacher a 150 salute about Shabbat. Mario, Barak, Yahweh Basham Yoshai Bakata. Yanmata, sir, let's give the sisters online 150 salute about Shabbat. Mario, Barak, Yahweh Shabbat Basham Yoshai. Yamata, class dismissed.